Good morning. Yes. So, how are you doing? Fine? Good. Yes. So, one more chapter for the month of April that was pending. So, this will be over. That is from Alien Hand. The second chapter bringing up Kari, and many of you might have read this, and I hope so. And you might have tried out, some of you might have even written the question answers. I can hear the sounds. Yes? Yes? Have you done your question answers? Yes or no? No response? Yes? Children, I want some response. Have you done? Yes, I can see the response now. Yes. Still, I am going to once again, because you know, in annual also, or in exams also, and tests also, you get these lessons. So it will be recapitulation for you, those who have already read, and those who have not read. It's good, and it will I'll explain, and it will become clear to you further. Okay, children? So before we begin, let's look up at the hard words we come across in this lesson. Okay, so first word, squeal. Okay, squeal, of course, cry of animals or children. Squeal, soft, prolonged cries in excitement. They take out the sound of squeals of laughter, continuous, prolonged. Okay, then I have written shriek also over here, though it is not in your lesson. Maybe later on in the chapters you will come across these words. Shriek is just, of course, shriek is also cry. It's a shrill means it is sharper. Okay, now let us look at the difference. Squeal is it of a child, prolonged, out of love, or maybe but whereas shriek is a shrill or sharper sound or cry. Okay, and shriek is out of anger. It could be out of anger, out of anguish, horror, fright. Shrieked. She shrieked, surprised. Okay, so that is the difference. This shriek is usually used in a negative, and this squeal is out of love, or especially children. For children, they make the sound squeals. Okay, so we use there in a positive way. This is in a negative way, usually used. Then we come across luscious. This is pronounced as luscious. Luscious means juicy or tasting good. It's called luscious. 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 Then hatchet. Hatchet is X. I hope all of you know X, but small X is called hatchet. You can also call, of course, X. It's called X, but you can also call hatchet. Small X is called hatchet. Then we come to mutilated. Mutilated means cut unevenly. Okay, when it is not cut properly, unevenly, okay, it is called mutilated. Awkwardly, it's given in your book. The meaning is given torn awkwardly. Okay, not properly. Then ponderous. Ponderous means moving very slow. Okay, clumsy way. In a clumsy way, moving very slow when somebody is huge. The animal, especially elephant and all, you might have seen, they move slow. Okay, so that movement, ponderous movement. Okay, moving slow and clumsily. Then darted. I think we came across this word earlier also. Darted means move very fast. Then lasso. Lasso is a rope with a noose at the end, and that tightens. Noose at the end, like tie and all also have noose. So that is called lasso. Now, should we start the lesson? Yes. How many of you have read? Yes, I can see this typed sentences. Yes, I have read. Okay. Now, Kari. Yes, Kari was a baby elephant, isn't it? Yes. And this boy, the author, is also a small boy of 9 years. And this lesson is full of their experiences together. Beautiful story of an animal, loving animal. Yes, if we love animals, they give response. They also love you back. But if you hit animals, if you're cruel to them, They learn the same thing. Then they may, like dogs, those dogs which bark a lot. Why do? They are not like that. But because they have learned hatred. That people have thrown stones at them or beaten with sticks. So that is why. And this elephants, when we are studying about this, or we are going to read this story, I am reminded of elephants, that we should not take rides on elephants. Okay, if you happen to see somebody, because they are being cruel. When you take ride on elephants, you are being cruel. They also have right of freedom, isn't it? To live freely. Why should we use them for our pleasure and giving them pain? It's not right. Okay, so you should also voice it, and maybe people may not listen to you because you're small, but when you grow up, you can take up this issue. Okay, that animals, and that is why sometimes we find that they also lose their temper. And then because they are being taken out, they are hungry, they cannot speak. Okay, so people use them for earning money. These elephants, they are hungry, they're kept hungry, and they don't get water, and they're made to do some take walk on the hot roads. Okay, so then we find they lose their temper and they start killing, and yes, we come across all these things. Yes, should we start now with the pictures? I brought for you pictures for reading. I hope you enjoy it. So let us look at the first picture of Kari and the author. Yes, Kari the elephant. Yes. Okay. Children, it's a bit, we have to adjust to these pictures, but I have brought specially for my students, so that it's not just reading. You have to pay attention on the pronunciation and all, and where I'm stopping, full stops, commas. Whenever there is a comma, you have to pause for half a second. But when is a full stop, then a bit more, because full stops, if you don't use full stop and you read, you join both the sentences, it seems as if the two sentences are joined and the meaning changes. Okay, these punctuations are very, very important. Yes, children. Okay, now here you can see this sweet elephant baby. Isn't it sweet? They are sweet, all the babies, whether it is elephant baby, monkey baby, all the babies are sweet. And here is this Kari, the elephant, was 5 months old when he was given to me to take care of. I was 9 years old, and I could reach his back if I stood on tiptoe. See, you can see in the picture, isn't it? The author, he was 9 years old and he could reach his back only if he stood on tiptoe. He seemed to remain that high for nearly 2 years. We grew together. That is probably why I never found out just how tall he was. He lived in a pavilion. A pavilion is an open field where you play or you pitch tents. Okay, so he lived in the pavilion under a thatched roof. See here, thatched roof made up of grass, dry grass. So under a thatched roof which rested on tree trunks, thicker. Opposite of thin is thicker. Thick tree stumps, so that it could not fall in when Kari bumped against the poles as he moved about. You can see in the picture the stumps or the tree stumps and the thatched roof. Is it clear to you? Yes? Okay. One of the first things Kari did was to save the life of a boy. Okay. Life of a boy. You can see here the picture. The first picture is of the author comparing himself, how tall he was in comparison to the elephant. And second picture, Kari is near the banks. Yes, on the banks he loved. Let's read the paragraph and find out. Kari did was to one of the first things Kari did was to save the life of a boy. Kari did not eat much, but he nevertheless needed 40 pounds of twigs a day to chew and play with. Every day I used to take him to the river in the morning for his bath. He would lie down on the sand bank while I rubbed him with the clean sand of the river for an hour. After that, he would lie in the water for a long time. On coming out, his skin would be shining like ebony, a precious stone shining. So ebony, and he would squeal with pleasure, happiness, as I rubbed water down his back. Then I would take him by the ear, because that is the easiest way to lead an elephant, and leave him on the edge of the jungle while I went into the forest to get some luscious twigs for his dinner. One has to have a very sharp hatchet to cut down the twigs. It takes half an hour to sharpen the hatchet, because if a twig is mutilated, an elephant will not touch it. If it is mutilated, he would not touch it. It was not an easy job to get twigs and saplings for Kari. I had to climb, see here, the forest. I had to climb all kinds of trees to get the most delicate and tender twigs, as he was very fond of the young branches of the banyan tree, which grows like a cathedral of leaves and branches. Cathedral is church, bigger church. Okay, here the cathedral of leaves and branches comparison, simile has been used. I was gathering some one spring day in March when I suddenly heard Kari calling to me in the distance. As he was still very young, the call was more like that of a baby than an elephant. I thought somebody was hurting him. So I came down from my tree and ran very fast to the edge of the forest where I had left him. But he was not there. I looked all over, but I could not find him. I went near the edge of the water, and I saw a black something struggling above its surface. Then it rose higher, and it was the trunk of my elephant. I hope you know trunk of the elephant, nose of the elephant. I thought he was drowning. I was helpless because I could not jump into the water and save the 400 pounds of him, since he was much bigger than I. But I saw his back rise above the water, and the moment he caught my eye, he began to trumpet, the sound that the elephants make, trumpet, and struggle up to the shore. Then, still trumpeting, he pushed me into the water, and I fell into the stream. I saw a boy lying flat on the bottom of the river. He had not altogether touched bottom, but was somewhat afloat. Okay, on the surface, afloat. I came to the surface of the water to take my breath, and there Kari was standing, his feet planted in the sand bank, and his trunk stretched out like a hand waiting for mine. I dived down again and pulled the body of the drowning boy to the surface. You can see here in the picture, he's trying to pull him out, and pulled the body of the drowning boy to the surface. But not being a good swimmer, I could not swim ashore, and the slow current was already dragging me down. In the second picture, you can see the current was dragging him down. Seeing us adrift or drifting away in the current, Kari, who was usually slow and ponderous, suddenly darted down like a hawk and came halfway into the water, where I saw him stretch out his trunk again. I raised up my hand to catch it, and it slipped. I found myself going under the water again, but this time I found that the water was not very deep. So I sank to the bottom of the river and doubled my feet under me, and then suddenly kicked the river bed, so shot upwards like an arrow. In spite of the fact that I was holding the drowning boy with my hands, as my body rose above the water, I felt a lasso around my neck. This frightened me. I thought some water animal was going to swallow me. I heard Kari squealing and I knew it was his trunk about my neck. He pulled us both ashore. So this shows Kari was so, caring, isn't it? He cared not only for the author but others as well. Yes, animals are so innocent and caring and we are so selfish. Now we come to the second part. Are you ready? You'll continue with the second part. Kari was a little baby. He had to be trained to be good. And if you did not tell him when he was naughty, he was up to be more mischief than ever. Isn't it? It happens with all the animals. If you happen to keep animals, you'll find they are just like babies. You have to train them. For instance, one day somebody gave him some bananas to eat. Very soon he developed a great love for ripe bananas. We used to keep large plates of fruit on a table near a window in the dining room. One day, all the bananas on that table disappeared and my family blamed the servants for eating all the fruit in the house. A few days later, the fruit disappeared again. This time, the blame was put on me and I knew I had not done it. It made me very angry with my parents and the servants, for I was sure they had taken all the fruit. The next time the fruit disappeared, I found a banana all smashed up in Kari's pavilion. This surprised me very much, for I had never seen fruit there, and as you know, he had always lived on twigs. Next day, while I was sitting in the dining room wondering whether I should take some fruit from the table, without my parents' permission, a long black thing, very much like a snake, suddenly came through the window and disappeared with all the bananas. Now here you can see in the picture, disappearing like, it seemed as if though it is a snake. He's imagining also, you can see that bubble, in the snake in the bubble. I was very much frightened because I had never seen snakes eat bananas and I thought it must be a terrible snake that would sneak in and take fruit. I crept out of the room and with great fear in my heart ran out of the house, feeling sure that the snake would come back into the house, eat all the fruit and kill all of us children. When we come inside the room from outside, we use into, okay, into, and when we are already there in the room, then it is in the room. She is in the room, she's moving in the room, means inside the room. But when you come from outside, you enter some place, into that place, you enter that into the place, okay. As I went out, I saw Kari's bag disappearing in the direction of the pavilion. I was so frightened that I wanted his company to cheer me up. I ran after him into the pavilion and I found him there eating bananas. I stood still in astonishment. The bananas were lying strewn all around him. He stretched out his trunk and reached for one far away from where he was standing. That instant, the trunk looked like a black snake. And I realized that Kari was the thief. I went to him, pulled him out by the ear and joyously showed my parents that it was Kari and not I had eaten all the fruit these many weeks. Then I scolded him, for elephants understand words as well as children. And I said to him, next time I see you stealing fruit, you will be whipped. He knew that we were all angry with him, even the servants. His pride was so injured that he never stole another thing from the dining room. And from then on, if anybody gave him any fruit, he always squealed as if to thank them. An elephant is willing to be punished for having done wrong. But if you punish him without any reason, he will remember it and pay you back in your own coin. So, you like the second part also? Yes. Naughty, mischievous Kari. But see how he is being trained. Yes. Okay, now we come to the last, third part. Okay. An elephant must be taught when to sit down, when to walk, when to go fast, when to go slow. You teach him these things as you teach a child. If you say dhat and pull him by the ear, he gradually learn to sit down. Similarly, if you say mali and pull his trunk forward, he will gradually learn that it is a signal to walk. Kari learned mali after 3 lessons, but it took him 3 weeks to learn dhat. He was no good at sitting down. And do you know why an elephant should be taught to sit down? Because he grows taller and taller than you who had taken care of him. So that when he is 2 or 3 years old, you can only reach his back with a ladder. It is therefore better to teach him to sit down by saying dhat, so that you can climb upon his back, for who would want to carry a ladder around all the time? The most difficult thing to teach an elephant is the master call. He generally takes 5 years to learn it properly. Now what is this master call? The master call is a strange hissing, howling sound as if a snake and the tiger were fighting each other. And if you have to make that kind of noise in his ear, okay. And do you know what you expect an elephant to do when you give him the master call? If you're lost in the jungle and there is no way out and everything is black except the stars above, you dare not stay very long anywhere. The only thing to do then is to give the master call. And at once the elephant pulls down the tree in front of him with his trunk. And this frightens all the animals away. As the tree comes crashing down, monkeys wake from the sleep and run from branch to branch. You can see them in the moonlight, and you can almost see the stacks running in all directions below. You can hear the growl of the tiger in the distance, in anger growl. Even he is frightened. Then the elephant pulls down the next tree and the next and the next. Soon you will find that he has made a road right through the jungle straight to your house. Isn't it? You can see here in the picture also. The elephant, it's dark. The picture is of a forest, dark forest. And see how he is uprooting the trees and making the way for the author. Okay, so this is the master call is very important to teach an elephant. Okay, so I hope now you have understood this. Yes, children? Yes. So now, any other difficulty in understanding? Any other difficult questions or any difficult words that you came across? You can also look up dictionary, because that is the best thing you do. Look up the dictionary. Okay, wherever you come, you can ask me. At present I'm here, but otherwise when I'm not here, then you can always look up dictionary. So now we'll discuss the questions. Are you all ready? Yes. We can now we came across trunk. Trunk of the elephant, the nose of the elephant. And trunk is also a box, a big box in which you keep your clothes. That is also a trunk. Then trunk is also the body. The body without these your legs and all. It is also a trunk. Okay. So trunk. Any other word which you came across? The sounds, different sound, hissing of the snake, trump of the elephant, trumpet of the elephant. I'm sorry. Okay. Then any other word that you came across? No. No other word. Okay. If you find any difficulty, you can always ask. Okay. Now let us discuss the questions. The enclosure in which Kari lived had a thatched roof that lay on thick tree stumps. Examine the illustration of Kari's pavilion on page 8. See, they have given the clue. That page 8. And say why it was built that way. So you get the answer there. First paragraph, the last lines, isn't it? Last 3 lines. He lived in a pavilion under a thatched roof which rested on thick tree stumps so that it could not fall in when Kari bumped against the poles as he moved about. So this is the answer. You found the answer? Those who have found, see if you found the correct answer. Okay, so this is the first answer. Now second one, did Kari enjoy his morning bath in the river? He did enjoy his bath in the river, isn't it? Give reason for your answer. Again, same page 8 and 9. You can write any two, you can give any 2 reasons, okay, why you feel that he was happy, he was delighted, he was full of joy when he was taken for bath in the river. So, again page 8, second paragraph, last 4 lines. Okay, from here you can decide last 4 lines of the second para. He would lie down on the sandbank while I rubbed him. Instead of I used reporter speech. The author rubbed him with the clean sand on the river for an hour after that. Or you can make it shorter. Okay, instead of taking the whole sentence, you take just one. After having been rubbed. Okay, for an he would lie for an hour on the sand. Okay, after that you can and after that he would lie in the water for a long time. So this reason he would lie in the water, or you can give the reason he would lie in the water for a, so second last line, underline. Second answer, page 8, first reason, he would lie in the water for a very long time. On coming out, he would squeal. So you can take that, he would squeal with pleasure. Okay, so these 2 points. So he would lie in the water for a very long time. He didn't want to come out for a very long time. And secondly, he would squeal with when he came out, and the writer rubbed, okay, he did not rub. Yes, rubbed water down his back. He would squeal with pleasure. He would squeal with pleasure. Okay, so these 2 points you can write down for the second answer. I think nowadays all the animals, they like this water. You must have seen, if you keep water in pots, you will see how birds also take bath in the water. They enjoy, they twitter, isn't it? Tweet sounds you can hear. Yes, squeals and twitters. Animals, all animals love water in the summer. Okay, now next question. Finding good twigs for Kari took a long time. Why? Now again, page 9, isn't it? We came across this on page 9, paragraph 1. On paragraph 1, last 3 lines. Yes, one or last line of first paragraph, last line. If a twig was mutilated, now you change the tense, okay? Because if it is in past tense, question is in past tense, then write the answer also in past tense. So this practice, that if it is in past tense, then use past tense, simple past. If it is needed, and if it continuous action, then you have to use continuous tense, past continuous tense. Okay. If a twig was mutilated, then Kari, instead of elephant, you use Kari, would not touch it. So it had to be properly. What is the question? Did finding good twigs for Kari took a long time? Yes, because if they were not juicy, if they were not tasty, not juicy, not tasty, and not properly cut, then he would not touch them, or he would not eat them. Okay, this is the answer. You can write in your own words, or you can take the points from here, that he would not touch you, but you use that words also, that is given in your question. Okay, took a long time. Why? Because it took a long time. You have to take help from the, while constructing sentences, you answers, you can take a sentence, you can start with the help of the question. Kari took a finding good twigs for Kari took a long time, because they had to be properly mutilated. I'm sorry, they had to be properly cut. They had to be juicy and tasty. Otherwise, he would not touch. He would not touch. Okay, he would not touch, or he would not eat. Then next, why did Kari push his friend into the stream? Now this you can write in your own words. He pushed, or Kari pushed his friend into the stream to help the drowning boy, or to help him save the boy who was drowning. Okay, simple sentence. Simple one sentence. You can give this answer in one sentence. To help the boy who was drowning, or to help him bring out. Okay, or help the boy who was drowning. Kari pushed the author or his friend into the stream to help him pull out the boy who was drowning. To pull out the boy who was drowning. If you have not, you can repeat again when you are writing the answers. You can again play this video over here, and you can write the answer. Write in your own words. Then next question. Kari was like a baby. What are the main points of comparison? Now this is in the second part. There are many. Full, I think, lesson is that we get to know that the author is comparing him to a child, comparing Kari to a child. But we can't write such a long answer. So of course, if it is in a paragraph, or it is 4 marks, 3 marks, then you can choose more examples from the lesson. But here we can write in 1 or 2 sentences. I think this is in the second part of the this lesson. Second part, that means page number 10. Okay, page number 10. Did you find? Yes. First paragraph. If you first paragraph means second parts. Second parts, first paragraph. Kari was like a baby. He had to be trained to be good, and if you did not tell him when he was naughty, he was up to more mischief than ever. Okay, so he had to be trained like a baby. First comparison. Then he was up to mischief if he was not checked. Okay, so these 2 points you can write. This is more than enough. But in exam, if you are asked to give examples, then you can write, and if it is 3 marks or 4 marks, then you can give more examples from your story. Okay, now next question. Kari helped himself to all the bananas in the house without anyone noticing it. How did he do it? Now again on page 10, isn't it? Page 10 from second para. Second para means second parts, second para. This whole para gives us the answer, but then you can write in your own words. Kari helped himself. You can write how did he do it. So you can write that one day somebody gave him bananas which he liked very much. The author was not aware that he had he had this love for banana. So he and the plate of the banana was kept near the window. So he used to secretly or sneakily take the bananas from there, and the others were blamed. Then one fine day, the author found the bananas in his pavilion. Okay, now let us look on this page 10 how it is given. Now here second, I said second para. In the second part, second para, very soon he developed. Okay, somebody gave him bananas to eat. Very soon he developed a great love for ripe bananas. We used to keep large plates of fruit on table near a window in the dining room. One day so this you can make shorter. How? In one sentence. Kari developed a great love for ripe bananas. Then somebody gave him bananas to eat one day. Okay, then he began to steal bananas from the plate of fruit which was kept near the window. One day, then you can write how the author found bananas one day when author was sitting near the window, he saw a snake-like thing stealing away the bananas, and he thought it was a snake. So out of fear, he ran to Kari, and to his surprise, he found that there were bananas there. So that is how the author found that they were bananas. Now this is the description, everything, what happened about the banana stealing and how it was found. But the question over here is, Kari helped himself to bananas without anyone noticing it. How did he do it? I think even if you write in 2 sentences, it is enough. That one day when someone gave him bananas to eat, he developed a love for bananas, and he slowly began to steal the bananas from the plate, a fruit plate that was kept near the window. And then one day the author found out the secret when he went to the pavilion and saw the bananas there. Okay, so this is the answer, you write. Okay, now next question. Kari learned the command to sit and to walk. What were the instructions for each command? You know, what were the... Okay, first we have to tell, this is on page 12. Okay, page 12, third part, first paragraph and second paragraph. Okay, so first paragraph, third line. If you say dhat and pull him by the ear, now you have to use, again I am telling you the tense, the past tense. Okay, if you said dhat and pulled Kari by the ear, he sat down. And if you said Mali and pulled his trunk forward, he would walk. Okay, he would begin to walk. So you can write in your own words using simple past tense. Use simple past tense. Okay, write the answer in simple past tense. This is first part. Now second part, how he learned it. Okay, Kari learned Mali. This is in the next para, last para. Kari learned Mali. You can underline if you want, after 3 lessons, but it took him 3 weeks to learn dhat. Okay, fine. Okay, and then you can describe this a little bit on the next. Okay, what is the question? Again, Kari learned the commands to sit and to walk. What were the instructions for each command? Okay, I think this is enough. Okay, again, if you want, I can. I'm reading out again for your benefit. If dhat was instructed or dhat was said to Kari and he was pulled by the ear, he sat down. Now you can write this in your own words, or if you want, if you're not able or if you're finding it difficult to do it, then you can write from the book also. If you say dhat, if you said dhat, use past tense. If you said dhat and pulled Kari by the ear, he sat down. If you said Mali and pulled him by his trunk forward, he walked. Okay, simplify this. Use only one. Got it? Fine. Okay. If you have confusion, then you are more intelligent sitting out there. You have got book, and while writing, you construct sentences in your own words. I'm just pointing out where you will find the answers. Now this is your work that you write carefully, and you are in 7th standard and you do it. Okay, it's a story. So it's clear now that dhat was used for, and pulling the ear. Dhat, if you said dhat and you pulled him by his ear, he sat down. And if you said Mali and pulled him forward with his trunk, then he would begin walking. So this is the answer. Okay. Now how did he learn? It took 3 lessons for him to learn Mali, but it took him 3 weeks to learn dhat. Only up till here. Okay, this is over. Now next, what is the master call? This you find on page 13. Master call. Okay, the last paragraph, second line, the master call. Did you find? The master call is a strange hissing and howling sound as if snake and tiger were fighting each other. This is the first word. What is a master call? Now, you can write, you can leave 2 sentences or 3 sentences, and if you are lost in the jungle, now you write in your own words after this. Though it is there, but write in your own words that if you're lost in the jungle, okay, with an elephant, and if you gave the master call in his ear, the elephant would begin uprooting the trees one by one, okay, and making the way, and this would also frighten the wild animals and keep them away, and whereas it would make the way for you and you reach home safely. Okay, so this is over. Complete your question answers up till up till here was in your syllabus, okay, for April. So we have completed the syllabus of April and May. Okay, now in new session we'll see what is new for you, and we'll continue with the new lessons, and keep on reading and writing. I hope you are reading stories, short stories, and children, start from simple short stories, and then when you read next story, go for a little harder, longer, and then next still a harder, still harder, okay, like that, like a ladder. You continue switching to from simple and easy to little bit harder, then more hard, okay, so harder, and continue like that. And children, don't go for just to show off, take up a novel and start reading. No, you will not understand and you will lose interest. So from easy, go to hard, slowly, okay, and see if you are able to understand, and that way you will enjoy also. And don't go for adult books and all, go for children's stories and children's books, okay. And please continue reading. That is the only way of improving your English, having good command, and moreover books are your best friends. And writing diary, maintain diary separate, okay. Now children are asking me, ma'am, about notebooks. They keep on asking, ma'am, notebooks, how many notebooks, how many notebooks? So I had told earlier 2 notebooks, but still if you're confused, some children said we have made 1 notebook, ma'am. Okay, fine, but then you can divide that notebook. The first part of the notebook for your reader, and the second part, this is supplementary, so this is the second half, okay, but put a marker, okay, so that you would understand that it is divided. And then secondly, another notebook in which you are doing something. I hope you have done notice, because it is in your syllabus, writing notices. And I'll give you one more question of writing. Yes, one question of writing. Note down, one question of writing. Now we have completed this. Now imagine you are the author of this lesson, bringing up Kari. Imagine, okay, and write a paragraph on what happened one day when you caught or how you caught Kari stealing, and what was Kari's reaction. Okay, write this in a paragraph, narrate it. Okay, you can do it as a diary entry. I hope you know how to write diaries. Okay, note down the question. Should I write down the question? Okay, have you written the question? If you have not written, then again rewind and okay, and write the question. Okay, bye children, and do this in 6